Is watching porn cheating? That is the question we're going to seek to answer today. I'm John Henderson with HH Law, and we're going to get into what is the difference between cheating and non-cheating. Now, obviously, adultery, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about cheating. Adultery is when a married man or a woman strays outside of the marriage and has sexual relations with another person. So it is a very technical matter. Watching porn is not under the law cheating. However, it causes a lot of issues in marriages, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. One of the things that it does, primarily that we see in our practice, is that it causes a huge disruption in communication. Usually people are going to have a negotiated understanding of their different thresholds of many things in their life. How much golf their husband's going to play, how much shopping the wife might do, financial, everything is a little bit negotiated in a marriage to try to figure out what is a fair way to move forward between two people. But with this issue of pornography, it's sometimes there is an understanding, oftentimes there's no understanding. And what happens in a lot of instances is that somebody is taking advantage of the situation that spills over into communication issues, intimacy issues in the marriage. So clearly, and we're just going to use a guy knows that his wife hates the idea of him looking at naked women online or pornography or anything like that, and he's doing it anyway, she's going to be furious. That is going to cause a lot of fight and a lot of significant distrust. She's now going to want to see what's going on your phone more often and lots of things like that. So that's the first way that we see that porn can actually lead to disruptions that can lead to divorce. Even though it's not necessarily adultery under the law, it can lead to these communication issues and this fighting, distrust, if that sort of thing is going on. The second place that we see this coming into play is that people will often develop an addiction to it. Now we're talking about a totally different thing. Now, under the law, there's no such thing as saying, hey, my husband or my spouse is addicted to porn, and so therefore I want a divorce. You can do that in a non-fault divorce setting, but there's no recognized fault ground for that. But if somebody does develop this habit, if they develop an addiction to porn, then it's obviously going to cause significant issues with communication, significant issues with intimacy. We've got lying going on, and we've got a foundation for a lot of distrust going on in the marriage. We also have something that is probably disrupting the porn-addicted spouse's ability to earn an income. You have financial implications as well. If you have children in the house, you could also have exposure. If this sort of stuff is on computers, it would be irresponsible to have it on family computers where children can get a hold of this kind of information or these kind of images. And so that's the next thing is you've got this porn addiction, which is increasingly becoming a problem. That's psychiatrists, not me saying that, but that is increasingly becoming a problem. And so it's increasingly becoming an issue within marriages. And then the next thing is that there is a slippery slope with a lot of folks that come to our office. Nude pictures becomes watching porn, becomes chatting with other women, let's say online, developing a relationship with somebody else. And now you're starting to get into this area where, hey, will this turn into something, a physical interaction that could actually turn into adultery? We've had many instances where guys have, and I say guys because it's mostly been men, have a relationship with a woman, even in another state. We have instances where maybe they've gone and flown to see these people, and now you cross this line. All of this is to say that there's a number of different ways that this is an issue. If you are looking to try to resolve these issues, everybody needs to be on the same page in a marriage. Both spouses need to be on the same page about what your expectations are, very clear about what these expectations are. And if you are not, then just know that the person who knows that they're not supposed to be looking at porn or not supposed to can lead to distrust, addiction, chatting with people online. And those little breadcrumbs can kind of lead you down a slippery slope to something that is not going to be very good for your marriage. So we've increasingly seen this as an issue. Technically, watching porn is not cheating, not committing adultery, but it can lead to significant issues that can make it so in the future. Keep in mind, we are a South Carolina-based law firm. Our offices are throughout South Carolina, but a lot of the stuff applies outside of South Carolina as well. Similar laws in other states. This area is one that could be changing in the near future across the nation as interactions with other people and online interactions increase over time. So keep an eye out for that. But also just know that we cannot give you any case-specific advice through these videos. We just want to provide a context for you to make the best decisions regarding you and your family possible. So we like to give this information. We are, as I said, South Carolina specific. So if you're not in South Carolina, please make sure that you contact an attorney in your state to make sure that you understand those laws. I'm John Henderson with HH Law. Thanks for watching.